Hello everybody and welcome back to Bedrock Survival with Fix, episode 161. Do you see one thing that isn't like the other here? You see that beautiful custom mountain I have over there on the right that's all nicely done and stuff like that? Then you see this really crappy thing I have here on the left that I built like a really long time ago that's still really crappy and blah. Yeah, you know what? Darn it, it's time to address it, baby. We are moving up top. I gotta deal with this. I can't handle it anymore because it's so bad and blah and boring and stuff. So, yeah, so we're gonna get right on this. It is time finally to deal with this area up here. Now, I have an idea. I have a couple ideas of something that I want to do, and I've been thinking about it, because I haven't built up here because, well, to be totally honest, I don't really have a good idea of what exactly I want to build, but I finally have it. I finally know what I want. What I want up here is I want a little mini sort of keep tower thing situation that's going to be right in this area going over to there. It's almost going to be like a castle to itself. And then, once you leave it, I want to have a nice courtyard here with maybe a little fountain and maybe a place you can look over, look at this beautiful mountain, look at the beautiful redone old town area over here, look down at all the crop fields, all that kind of stuff. I think it's going to be really, really, really cool. So, the first thing that we're going to do is I'm actually going to grass up the place and just completely cover this all in grass. I need to get a little bit of coarse dirt action happening here for just like the side areas. They're overhanging, but for the most part up here, we're going to go all grass. I think it's going to make a big, big, big difference. By the way, I've officially updated to 1.16.100, and it's a wee tiny little bit laggy. It's not quite as slick as it was before, so I'm hoping that is a bug that's going to be fixed. It's still good, but it's not quite as like amazingly great. It's somewhere sort of in the middle of that. So let me get to placing some grass here, and we're going to fill this entire area with grass, and then maybe we'll outline the keep today. I don't know, maybe we'll get into building. I don't really know where the day is going to take us, but first thing I want to do is I just want to get this entire area all filled with grass up to, I don't know, maybe the whole thing or at least like halfway. Yeah, we'll see. I hate to spend, use grass and then sort of cover over it with a keep, but it might be the fastest way to go. By the way, I'm rerunning my parallax shaders, and it could be that they're out of date, and that could be why I'm getting a little bit of glitches here, but hopefully it's not too annoying for you. Phase 1 is complete, and I think it's okay. Let's take a look at it from somewhere else so that you can see a little bit better. I think it's going to be really, really, really nice. It feels good to be working on this area finally. Thankfully, I'm finally here. I feel a lot better about it, honestly. It's been one of those projects that I've been kind of putting off for, man, like 70 episodes or so. It feels good to finally sort of dig into it. So I'm going to grab some stone next, and we are going to lay out some of the ideas for the little keep sort of area now, and probably together here, and then we'll go from there. But I'm thinking that we're going to go primarily out of really stone and stone brick instead of have a ton of cobble, because I feel like it's high enough that it should be a little bit better, more well made than this area is down here. So let's go up here and take a quick little look at it. Yeah. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking is I went from about here, like about here out to there to be nature, like be some parks and all that kind of stuff. So let's just grab some of this stuff. Oh, did I just make my mouse slipped? I just made so many buttons. Oh man. Well, if I ever need a lot of buttons, then I'm in good shape. All right. So what I'm thinking is, should we do a whole diagonal keep? Do I have the guts to do that? Because we could do a whole diagonal keep. Like we could go straight to. Oh man, I kind of want to. Okay. Let's begin laying out some of this diagonal keep. If we wanted to do this, let's just see how it would go out. So we do something like this. Okay, so it fits, and then we'd have to come out from about here. Let's see, that's 3 out. So then 1, 2, 3 out like that, and then that's 7, right? 2, 3. Oops, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh man, do I dare try an entire diagonal keep? That would be really cool. I kind of want to. Let me lay this out. I think I might turn off these shaders too. They're really bugging me out right now. What do we think of this? What do we think of this? This is I think it's an interesting shape for a mountaintop keep here. Let's fly up here a little bit so we can see. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. And I left this area here empty because I think that I want to have maybe some sort of walkway or something, or raise something or other to get over there, because I'm not sure yet what we're doing with this part of the mountain. I don't know if we're going to expand this, make this a lot taller, or cut it down and make it a lot shorter, but we're going to do something with it, because from here on over I'm not really in love with it, but I think this is kind of cool. So what I want to do here is I want to basically raise this up off the ground and then slap a roof on it, so that way then I can build it up from there, like in kind of a second phase. I think that's how we're gonna go in this. So we'll do tower, 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 tower. So what is that? 3? It's like six towers here, and then walkways, and then on the inside of this, then we'll do some sort of, I don't know, a bit like a big tower with sort of connectors and things. I think you'll understand more once I get more of this kind of build up, but I don't exactly want to copy this. I don't think. We'll see once we get some more of it put up together here. But I can't believe we've made all those buttons. But let's get to build some buildings. So we're going to do something like this, a nice little mixture of stone and stone brick, and then we'll see you on the other side. Okay, I think I have a plan of how I'm going to do this. I think what I'm going to do is eventually down the road, we'll put a tower on this little bit of an island right here, and we'll cut this way down. We'll cut this down so it slopes down and then comes back up. And then that tower can have a walkway that goes from basically here to there to over there. That'll be a nice way to connect it all. But I'm really liking the shape of this diagonal castle. How about that? Who saw this coming in this episode? Well, I guess if you read the title, I'm assuming you probably did see this coming, but yeah, diagonal, yeah, it's pretty cool looking to start with here. So what I'm going to do next is we're going to bring this up. You can see a lot more. Sometimes you can tell from an outline on the ground, and then sometimes you need to bring it up 3 or 4 or 5 blocks so you can kind of see, oh, that's what it's going to be. Okay, cool. Now I get it. It'll just start to make sense then, right? I think that's very helpful. So that being said, I'm going to bring up these towers to their sort of standing height. Now, I do want to be careful. Before I build this, I do want to be careful because there's something else I want to keep in mind is build height and the mountain. I don't want this to be anywhere close to build height in the mountain. I don't think it necessarily will, but I don't want in any way you to think like, wow, that little castle is as tall as that mountain, which makes the mountain then feel a lot less big, right? Because we're already up on top of. We're starting this castle up on top of something, so it's something I'm just going to kind of keep in mind. Also, I think all of these roofs are going to be the flat roofs. I don't think, unless maybe on the inside, I'll bring in some in this color, but on all the roofs, I think are going to be these flat roofs, just to make it a little bit different than the other things, okay? Well, I have a lot of looking down, block placing, and podcasts to listen to. Let's see how this goes. Okay, then let's take a little look and see how far it's come. Yeah, I like it, man. Does it add a lot to the city or what? Super cool. So if you see here, I started working on some height expansions, adding in a couple new towers up sort of on the top level, trying to make some things diagonal, some things squared up, some things circle, and I think it works really well. Let me fly up really high here and see if we can get a real quick look at the footprint of it. There we go. That's all you get. Really quick. Really quick. Okay. So, yeah, if you look around here, I went with this 3 slabs going up, and I will bring in, like, another layer of slab, probably trim here later on. But yeah, you have this walk around on the outside area here, which I think is really cool. And, you could have some ways, like maybe, you could break in, and this will be something down here, and there'll be stairs and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, you can look over the castle from over here. This is kind of like a mini fortress kind of, and then over here you can look down here and check out Dockside City, which is really cool. Or you could walk over here and you can take a look over here at the port, check out, oh man, all those ships that are going to be down there. Or you can walk over here and you can check out well, that's going to be the bad guys. That whole biome is going to be the bad guys. That's going to be where the pillagers live, and that's going to be kind of who's at war with these people eventually, way down the road when we get there. And yeah, you can see, I think this is just perfectly positioned to just do some really, really, really cool things. So the next thing I'm going to want to do here is probably put on a bunch of roofs for the towers and the square buildings. Probably the square buildings first, to be honest. So if you look, I have like this one and that one and that one, and I just need to grab a whole bunch of spruce. So let's go spruce farming and then slap on some roofs and see what we think. Done some building, baby. I've done some building. It is 2:24 a.m. and I'm in the zone. I am in the zone. I feel good about this. It's really massively changing. I mean, man, I feel like this 25 episode block is going to change the world as much as anything we've ever done here. I mean, look at this. Look at the skyline of this entire city. Like between this wall and these very tall houses, and that now we have this sort of I don't know what you call it, mountainside fort of some sort. It's like I don't know, like a garrison or something. Yeah, it's cool. I tried to dress it up a little bit more than maybe I've done with the other castle because of where it's going to be seen from. You know, you're going to see this thing from everywhere, like just like the direct castle over there, right? Like even if you bring a ship into here, you're going to look up there and you're going to see this sort of mountainside fort. I think it's really, really important. I have decided that I do want to bring in some of these spires over here because I want to make sure that it's very obviously connected to this castle, even though as of now it's not yet connected. It will be. It will be when in time. You know, I have a very vague outline of how we're going to connect it here, but and we're not there yet. Still working on it, but at some point, you know, we will connect this. So I think this very tall one here is going to be one of these big spires. I think that circular one over there is going to be one. And then I kind of like to have one sort of up here be one, but I don't think I really can. I think these kind of have to be flat topped, you know, flat topped things, and that's okay. So I mean, two is all right. I would have probably preferred 3. I could actually make maybe that one over there 1 if I wanted to. I could round out that tower now that we're up above the roof line if I wanted to and make that into spire. Maybe I will. That actually kind of seems like the right move. So maybe we'll do that. We'll now that we're above the roof, we'll just bust that out into a circle. Shouldn't be all that very difficult. And then make that into a smaller spire so that we have small and medium and large over here. So that should be good. That should be good. I think the next thing I want to do probably is, man, very little of all my hard-earned spruce here. But I think I want to maybe put a roof on these so I can start to kind of get a feel. It's a little tricky. It's a little tricky being a direct roof because what I would normally do is I'd normally sort of do like a thing here where we do something like this and we come up, right? But with diagonal, I'm not exactly sure how that's going to go. I mean, I could basically pick a direction if I wanted to. Like I could go, 90 degrees this way and then come back 90 degrees, and that would kind of work if I wanted to. Maybe that's the way to go. So then it looks like the whole thing is sort of facing a direction, or I could go all in where I'm going all the way around like this, right? Maybe that's the best way to go on something like this, is really just expand it all the way without drooping anything down, and then I'll do a little droop down sort of from the bottom angle. I guess that's probably the best way to go. So let's do that next. Let's do that part next. We'll go around all the square or diagonal, depending on how you look at square or diamond towers, and get a little bit of a roof area put on and just sort of start to get a feel for how this looks. Let's take a look, shall we? I did a little bit of changes up here to the general plan, and I think I like it. I decided to go with these towers up here. I couldn't come up with the design on the top of these that I really liked that was flat, and so I wanted to bring in some color. When I say color, I mean white, but you know what I mean, like some not gray or brown. I wanted to bring another color to the palette, and I brought in white. And I think it's going to be good, especially once we put in some windows up there. I think it's going to give some, maybe a little bit nicer of a palace sort of look and stuff like that. It's kind of hard to imagine this right now because there's so much detail yet to do. Kapow! Kapow again and again. Okay. So, yeah, but I think it's good. I think adding in these towers up here I think they're nice. I think they're really nice. There we go. Okay, so the good and the bad. The good is that the color is going to work really well. I really like the color. No problem there. The bad, if I were to put a little bit of a critical eye here, the diagonal, at least from this angle, which is often where I look at it from, is up on top of this thing, is not great. It's not great. I'm not totally sure how to really fix it, because it is by nature, well, it's a diagonal castle, so I'm not really sure exactly what I want to do to make this better, but it's not awesome. It's actually, I like it a lot more from the back over here than the top. This one over here is going to be a wooden tower, a wooden spire, because I do like to mix in some of the wood. I think it adds a lot to have some of that look as well. And I think the one up there, might be this red and pink, but then also have like the, I don't know what you'd call it. You see that tower right there where it has the stone sort of supports up in the top? Because this is going to be so much bigger. So I think that's going to be probably better. And this one over here is probably going to have like a wooden top. So yeah, this is the other place I look at it quite a lot from. And another angle that I like better than the front on one. So the side ones are going to be okay. The side angles are going to be fine. It's going to be the angle from sort of when you walk into town. Over here, my electric's going to break in a second now. It's like when you walk into town, this angle here that I'm not totally in love with it, especially from like the ground. Like I'm having trouble putting my finger on what I don't love about it yet. And yeah, I know we're in the early stages of building here, but I think it's like the towers are too thick at the bottom, maybe, and too skinny at the top. So, I don't know. Maybe I should shrink it down instead of come out. Like, you see how I came out for the walls there? Maybe I should bring in all those walls by a block. That's gonna be a lot of work, but yeah, I don't know. I don't totally love it, and I'd like to love it. So that's gonna be what I work on next, is that little white and brown part, and just try to figure out exactly what's gonna make the bottom flow into the top a little bit better. Because I actually like the bottom, I like the top, and I like the middle section, but they don't all work together. You know what I mean? That's what we're going to work on anyway. It's 4:20 a.m. I need to go to sleep, so I'll probably end up doing this tomorrow, okay? All right, I'll see you in just a few seconds for you. I think that we've gotten all we're going to get done today, and I think it's actually pretty good. Look, it's coming. You know, we're in the needs a ton of detail sort of phase, but that's okay. A build this big is absolutely going to take more than one episode to complete. But yeah, you can see it's starting to come along. I'm happier with the tower sort of, I don't know what you call it, like fade from up to down. So I did make it wider here in the base, and then I left this diagonal. It just looks like a circle because of the nature of Minecraft diagonals. Unfortunately, it just looks like a circle. Like these are so clearly square, and that just looks like a circle from a lot of different angles. There's no way that I can help that, really. I mean, it is what it is, but it's okay. From here it looks straight on, but only from like dead straight does it look straight. So it's all right. It's fine. Up here, obviously these need to be detailed out a lot. Like we'll need to bring in a lot of spruce up to this level to get that to work. The gate's gonna need a lot of work. There is gonna be a lot, because this is supposed to be a real, it's a castle, but it's like a nicer castle. It's like for more wealthy people, right? So there's going to be a lot of like nature and nice stuff. This is going to be a nicer castle for sure than is like this area over here for sure. Maybe, who knows, maybe this is the queen's castle, right? Like she has her own little place. I added these things here, and I really like them. I really think it adds a lot. I've been thinking about maybe doing this. I kind of forgot about it, actually. So let's throw this on and just see what we think. I think that's... Yeah, we're going to want to do that, because that's going to show that this is a little square tower attached to this. Ideally, what I was trying to get is make this feel diagonal, even though this is straight, and make this feel straight, even though it's diagonal. I don't know if I pulled it off completely yet, but I think it's okay. I think it's all right. Anyway, I think what we're going to do is wrap up today here. And then next episode, we'll just pick up right back here where we're at, and we'll start to bring in a lot of detail, put in floors, put in stairways, all that kind of stuff, and really make this thing look beautiful. But that's going to do it for me, Al. Thanks for spending part of your day with me. I really do appreciate it. And we'll see you next time from right here at Bedrock Survival with it. Bye, everybody. Love y'all.